Have you grown weary of watching the world move forward while you remain still, feeling like a ghost in your own life, observing others charge ahead with certainty, with fire in their eyes and purpose in their stride, while you fall asleep each night with a weight in your chest, wondering why your greatest efforts feel like they vanish into smoke? Are you tired of the gnawing confusion that greets you each morning, of the lies you whisper to yourself that tomorrow will be different, only to wake up bound to the same cycle, stuck in the same pattern, looking at the same reflection, and hearing the same inner noise? Are you exhausted from rehearsing excuses, from dragging around self-doubt like a chain, from waiting for someone else to hand you permission to become who you already know you were meant to be? Then good. Let that exhaustion be your beginning. Let this very moment be the breaking point, the sacred fracture in the old shell. This is not just another night. This is the end of waiting. This is the threshold of becoming. From this night forward, you will no longer sleep like a man who hopes. You will sleep like a man who knows. Your body may rest, but your mind will march forward. You will no longer let the subconscious realm be a wasteland of random fears and recycled failures. You will not let your inner world drift without command, no more idling in the neutral zone of indecision. You will not become great by accident. You will not wake up wise, wealthy, disciplined, or unshakable by wishing it so. No king, no builder of empires, no master of destiny ever stumbled upon greatness as if it were a coin found on the street. And yet most people live as if their thoughts are harmless, as if mental passivity is safe. They treat the mind like a wandering river rather than the divine engine of creation it truly is. But I tell you now, your thoughts are not toys. They are the blueprints of reality. They are the sculptors of your future. Thought is sacred. Thought is cause. Thought is command, and it does not rest when you do. When your eyes close and the world fades, your subconscious rises like a silent architect, ready to build from whatever you gave it during the day. If you fed it doubt, it will replicate doubt. If you poured confusion into it, it will shape chaos. If you gave it nothing, it will find noise. But if you feed it clarity, it will forge strength. If you speak to it like a master, it will build like a loyal servant. Tonight, we reverse the pattern. We do not sleep as slaves to circumstance. We sleep as sovereign creators of our reality. We do not entertain ourselves with distraction. We feed our minds with power. This is the method of transformation. This is how legacies are forged, not in daylight alone, but in the invisible hours of sleep where the soul listens more closely than we realize. Night after night, repetition after repetition, thought by deliberate thought, we carve out the identity of the man we choose to become. The world may be a storm of noise, but you will become a fortress of order. You will not drift through the silence of sleep. You will turn that silence into structure. You will walk taller not because the world changed, but because your inner voice changed. Your posture will become purpose. Your voice will carry command. Your decisions will echo certainty. The mind that once replayed fear will now recite authority. This is not wishful thinking. This is spiritual mechanics. I will guide you. I will show you how to write new commands upon the scroll of your soul. You will learn to plant faith where fear once ruled, to replace hesitation with fire. You will instruct your mind like a general issues orders before battle, with fire and focus, with purpose and power. These hours are not empty. These hours are sacred. And as you listen, as you lie in stillness, your subconscious will receive every word you choose to speak with intention. You are not merely absorbing a speech. You are listening to your future self, the version of you who has already become who you long to be. You are listening to the voice of your future identity calling you forward, saying, I am the master of my fate. I do not ask for permission. I command my mind. I speak with authority. I act with faith. I plant only what I intend to harvest. I do not fear the night. I use it. This is the end of the man who waits. This is the beginning of the man who decides. And now, as your body begins to relax, understand this. Your mind does not, your subconscious never sleeps, it listens. It absorbs, it obeys, it does not argue, it does not debate. It builds what it receives, faithfully, without hesitation. And every day, whether you realize it or not, you are giving it instructions. Not always with words, but with your dominant emotions, your repeated thoughts, your silent expectations. If you dwell on failure, it will recreate failure. If you rehearse anxiety, it will echo that anxiety back into your life. But if you plant clarity, strength, and vision, it will construct your future in that image. The world does not shape your mind. Your mind shapes your world, and you are never not becoming something. You are always building, always shaping, always creating. Brick by thought, brick. Tonight you take control, you become the architect. You stop leaving the soil of your mind unguarded. You do not let television, gossip, or yesterday's pain sow weeds in your field. You do not fall asleep in defeat. You fall asleep in discipline. You speak with clarity. You plant with intent. You command with certainty. This is how the builders of history did it. This is how Ford dreamed of entire systems before a single machine turned. This is how Edison created light in the darkness. By dreaming while the world slept, by believing while others doubted. They did not beg for success. They told their subconscious to build it, and now, so will you. You will no longer be passive. You will no longer be casual. You will be deliberate. You will give orders. You will plant visions. You will repeat truths until they are no longer just words. They are you. You will say, I am the type of man who instructs his mind nightly. My subconscious is my partner. It obeys my will. I do not fear the night. I own it. I plant power. I plant clarity. I plant belief. My rest is not weakness. It is instruction. These are not empty phrases. These are seeds, and seeds become identity. Identity becomes action. Action becomes destiny. So speak now with force, with feeling, with the flame of certainty. Speak like a man who knows his future is already forming. Say it, feel it, repeat it, because the mind learns by repetition. Identity is not formed once. It is forged through rhythm, through return, through daily instruction. Let the weak man hope. Let the lost man wait. You are not that man. You are the one who plants on purpose, and the subconscious, that sacred silent builder, will take your word as law, and it will shape your life to match. So speak clearly, speak identity. Speak as the man who does not drift, who does not wait, who does not falter. Speak not as someone trying to change. Speak as someone already becoming. Say it again and again, until it becomes real, until your waking life cannot help but reflect it. And then do it again, because this is how masters are made. This is how you rewire your destiny. This is how you take the throne of your own mind. Let them laugh, let them mock, let them scoff from the sidelines of lives they never chose. You are not them. You do not drift like leaves in wind. You are no longer a product of accident. You are the architect now. You live by design, and design begins in the furnace of the mind. Every monument that ever rose began as a whisper of vision in the unseen. Carnegie saw his empire in steel while others only saw smoke. Edison imagined light long before the world believed in it. Rockefeller shaped wealth with the clarity of inner dominion before the world ever wrote his name in gold. They were not born gods. They were men who held an image so tightly, so repeatedly, that it fused with their being until the subconscious obeyed with no resistance. This is now your task. This is now your life. Every night before the veil of sleep descends, you return to the image. You stare into the flame of your future, and you feel its heat. You do not watch it like a movie. You enter it like a home. You breathe its atmosphere. You repeat its truth. You command your inner world with words forged in fire, and in time the subconscious will have no choice. It will rewrite your reflexes. It will bend your instincts. You will act like the man you have seen. You will move like him, speak like him, lead like him. You will become him. Say this with every fiber of will: I am the man I have seen in my mind. I live by vision, not memory. I do not ask, I declare. I do not wish, I command. I am the embodiment of every picture I hold. I repeat it nightly until repetition becomes belief and belief becomes identity. These are not motivational slogans. These are seeds. Your mind is sacred soil. Your future is the harvest. So with clarity, speak with certainty, tend with vigilance. The law responds to repetition. Tonight you have entered the same realm where every empire began, not with applause, not with evidence, but with decision. The difference between the ordinary and the exceptional is not birth, not not inheritance. It is the decision to hold a vision when others crumble. It is the grit to repeat identity when the world offers none. And you, yes, you have now crossed that invisible threshold. You are no longer waiting, you are creating. You are no longer reacting, you are building. From this night forward, the old pattern dies. You do not hope your way into strength. You instruct it, you repeat it, you live inside it before the world sees it. Every man walks in the rhythm of his most repeated belief. Your habits, your reflexes, your tone of voice, they are not accidents. They are echoes of the command you've given yourself over and over again. And if you don't choose those commands, the world will. You'll be programmed by fear, by laziness, by someone else's voice, but not anymore. Most men speak weakness without knowing. They say, I can't focus. I'm just not that disciplined. I never follow through. And they say it with conviction, with certainty, and their subconscious accepts it as gospel. Then their life follows, but here is the fire. You can speak a new truth. You can choose a new law. You can replace the character you were taught with the one you were born to become, and this does not begin with performance. It begins in silence, in solitude, in the stillness before sleep. Your subconscious is listening. It is waiting, and tonight you must no longer leave your identity to chance. You are the sculptor now. You are the craftsman, you are the engineer of the self. So define him. Who is he? The man you've decided to be, the one who finishes, the one who commands, the one who walks into pressure like it's a calling. What does he say when others stutter? What energy does he carry when others fall? What is his posture, his cadence, his internal law? Now speak it. I am the man who follows through. I am the man who rises with purpose before the sun. I am the man who keeps his word in silence. I am the man who moves while others dream. I am the man who trains his mind while the world rests. Maybe it doesn't feel true yet. That doesn't matter. The seed does not look like the tree. But it grows if you plant it, if you water it, if you speak to it. You must understand, every time you repeat a truth, your subconscious accepts it a little more. It does not resist repetition. It receives it as law. And eventually, your cells obey. Let me tell you something real. Charles M. Schwab, who built you, S. Steele into a titan, was not born to wealth. He was not chosen. He was not handed anything, but he walked with the conviction of a builder. He trained his thoughts like soldiers. He selected his beliefs like weapons. He repeated success into his marrow, and the world, eventually, matched him. That is the way. You do not need applause. You need repetition. You do not need perfect circumstances. You need persistent affirmation. Every night you will now speak yourself into alignment. Say it with your soul. I am the architect of my identity. I program myself nightly. I repeat strength. I do not drift. I do not hesitate. I do not hope. I build. Some will say, but I've always been this way. That is the lie. That is the chain. That is the whisper of history trying to keep you small. But tonight that whisper dies. From this night forward you speak strength. You rehearse boldness. You embody power before the world grants it. You repeat, 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 until it's no longer a ritual but a reflex. And when the world doubts, when fear returns, when hesitation knocks, you will say with calm fire, "Only faith lives here now," because your identity is no longer a question. It is law, and law is written by the one who repeats it the most. That man is now you. This is how mountains move, not by thunderclaps, not in explosions, not in sudden spectacle, but in thousands of silent shifts, in every small movement powered by persistence, in each quiet repetition that rewires the unseen. This is how wealth is built. This is how strength is built. This is how character is built, not through a single moment of glory, but through 1,000 invisible decisions, reinforced again and again until identity becomes unshakable. So tonight, as your body softens and the world fades from view, your subconscious is listening, hungry, open, ready to be shaped. This is the moment of imprinting. This is where futures are written in silence. Speak now, not casually, not timidly, but with fire, with the knowing of one who commands his internal world. While I sleep, my identity strengthens. While I rest, my character is fortified. Every night, I return to my purpose. Every night, I become more focused. Every night, I build the invisible structure that governs everything seen. This is not a ritual of the weak. This is not for the drifting man who hopes his life will change without structure. This is for the builder, the architect, the one who commands unseen realms. All achievement begins in the mind. All riches are first born in thought. They are formed in clarity, given legs by belief, and sustained through structured execution. Without planning, desire is nothing but noise. Without structure, even faith fragments. Without a clear aim, ambition collapses into chaos. So I say this plainly: if you want your future to obey, then you must command your inner world before you sleep. Do not let the day end in confusion. Do not let emotion rule the final hours. Do not surrender your mind to drifting thoughts. Instead, sit with yourself, not as a man reacting, but as a man constructing. Planning is not a one-time act. It is not a document you fill and forget. Planning is nightly alignment, spiritual calibration, mental clarity forged in the quiet. It is the architect, alone with his blueprint, whispering to himself, "Let me see the structure, let me refine the steps, let me design with precision." Most men drift. They stumble into their day and wonder why nothing changes. They wait for motivation, they chase the next thing, but the man of identity rehearses his morning the night before. He sees it, he feels it, he orders it. Then he wakes not to decide, but to execute. That is mastery. That is internal order. That is power. You must become this man, the one who ends each night not with chaos, but with command. Ask yourself, what is my next step toward my definite chief aim? What must be removed? What must be sharpened, scheduled, activated? Let that clarity settle. Let the subconscious absorb it, because your subconscious does not rest. It listens in silence. It processes while you sleep. It moves mountains when instructed. Say this now with calm and certainty: I do not wait for order, I create it. I am the type of person who ends each day with a plan. My subconscious builds what I feed it. My results follow my structure. I do not wander, I construct. Let me give you an image, a man who mastered this. William Wrigley, Jr. The world laughed. He was selling gum, but he wasn't just selling gum. He was selling with strategy, with focus, with obsession. He chose one aim, one product, one path, and he planned with militant consistency, night after night, thought by thought, campaign after campaign, until the world had no choice but to see him. That is the force of structured repetition. That is what happens when your plan is so definite, your subconscious so focused, that the universe must respond. You now do the same. Each night before sleep, review your goal. Speak your chief aim. Write the next 3 steps, not vague intentions, not maybe or someday, specific, definite, visualize them, see the day ahead aligned with your aim, then affirm with power, I act with precision, my thoughts move in straight lines. My plan becomes identity. I repeat until it becomes reflex. This is not scheduling. This is identity programming. The man who plans each night becomes a different creature. He no longer reacts, he directs. He no longer asks what the day will bring, he tells it. He is not pulled by the currents of emotion. He moves with internal wind, with stillness and certainty, because his decisions were made in silence, in power, in the night. The subconscious thrives on that instruction, but it shuts down under chaos. If you do not fill your mind with clarity before sleep, emotion will rush in to claim the space, fear, confusion, distraction. They all wait for your weakness, but you are not weak. You are building inner structure. You are constructing yourself, one night at a time. So begin your day in the mind before it arrives in the world. Do not wait until morning. The morning is for movement. The night is for command. Say now with purpose, tomorrow I rise at this time. I act on these priorities. I do not respond. I lead. I do not forget. I have already decided. See it now. See yourself rise strong. See yourself executing with precision. See the day unfold with harmony, with power, with certainty, and now sleep. Let the subconscious do its work. Let it prepare you. Let it polish your will, harden your resolve, and arrange your instincts for victory. This is not fantasy. This is how identity is engineered. You will now repeat this nightly. This is not an option. This is the system. This is the law, because what you repeat in silence, what you impress with clarity and emotion, becomes your default. Let others talk. Let others scroll. Let others forget. You build in silence. You repeat until the repetition becomes character. Tonight you plan, tonight you affirm, tonight you become. Tomorrow you execute, and the day after that, and the next, until the world bends to your order. That is the way, that is the law, that is how mountains are moved. One clear instruction, repeated with faith, until the world cannot resist your identity. Say this now, calmly but with fire. I am the type of person who ends each day in order. I do not drift, I construct. My subconscious follows my instruction. My identity is built in silence. My life obeys my design. Now sleep. Not in chaos but in command. Not in confusion but in clarity. And know this, the law is already at work.